Hey guys, it's Skylar, and today I'm here with my first music-related video on Skylar Speaks. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite albums of 2016 so far. So number 5, I got KPP Best. KPP stands for Kyari Pami Pami. She is a Japanese fashion model and singer who makes J-pop and EDM. KPP Best is basically just a greatest hits album, if you will. It features all her best songs from her first album all the way to her latest one. And it's really good. Some of my favorite tracks include Pon Pon Pon, Mondai Girl, and Fashion Monster. So if you're into J-pop, I highly recommend this album. It's very solid front to back. So number 4, I got Baby Metal, Metal Resistance. Now I know some of you, or most music listeners in general and metal fans, you're going to have, mixed reactions. This band has caused a lot of controversy and confusion. If you don't know what Baby Metal is, they're basically a trio composed of Yui, Sue, and Moa Metal, and the band combines J-pop and metal into a weird, satisfying fusion. So on their latest album, Metal Resistance, which trumps their first album completely, a lot of the lyrical themes include chewing gum, fighting in the metal resistance, and becoming one with their fans. It's very strange at first, but I think it'll grow on you if you give them a chance. So, yeah, definitely give this album a shot if you're willing to. So, next up, you have another metal album. This album is called Terminal Redux by Vector. Vector is a thrash metal band from Arizona, and unlike many other metal bands nowadays, at least, these guys have a lot of sci-fi elements that they implement into their lyrics. So in this album in particular, Terminal Redux, this album is basically a space opera. This is like a movie, okay, but it plays in your head. So the general synopsis is that it's about this guy who's trapped in space. There's no one around, he's just floating in space. But he sees this star called Alshane. Alshane explodes, and somehow he has the ability to control time, and he uses his time control powers to basically enslave humanity and just have people do his bidding. Yeah, like I said, there are not a lot of metal bands doing this. Vector is in its own category in terms of like sci-fi elements in their music. I think sci-fi was like, I think it was prevalent in the 80s. A lot of people say that Vector borrows a lot from like 80s metal, but like in the modern age, there aren't really very many metal bands doing this. So if you're definitely into science fiction and whatnot, I would highly recommend this album. It's very good, and yeah, definitely check it out. It's pretty cool. So next up, we have Bottomless Pit by Death Grips. Oh my gosh, guys. I waited so long for this album to come out. Death Grips is another trio composed of Zach Hill, the drummer, Stephen Burnett, the vocalist, and Andy Morn, the guy who makes the beats. So they make experimental hip hop, and on this album in particular, there are a lot of dark elements, just like in most of their music. Death Grips is a very abrasive, they're just a really hard band to get into and a hard band to recommend to people. Some of the lyrical themes include apathy, losing your grip with reality, and their own brutal relationship with their fans. Death Grips has a reputation for basically just toying with their fans and mocking them. Like their album before this, it's called The Powers That Be. Basically, they announced that it was finished, I think, at some point in January or something like that. But basically, they said it's finished. It's totally done. It's ready to go. But they decided to release it 8 months later. And they released an EP called Fashion Week. And another name for The Powers That Be is called Jenny Death. And on Fashion Week, the track list spelled out Jenny Death When. So, yeah, there are a lot of songs that talk about the relationship with their fans, apathy, losing grip of reality, and yeah, it's Death Grips is pretty hard to get into. I wouldn't recommend it to a lot of people personally because of their abrasive sound and whatnot, but I think this is probably their most accessible album right next to the Money Store. So I think you should give it a shot. Give Death Grips an honest shot. But at number one, Lemonade. Lemonade. You already know who Beyonce is. I don't even need to tell you. If you don't know, you need to stop living under a rock and buy this stinking album. It is absolutely incredible. She talks about, empowering females, empowering women, individualism, and celebrating who you are on this album. Some of my favorite tracks include 6 Inch. Oh man, 6 Inch. Formation, Freedom, Don't Hurt Yourself, Jack White on the guitar. Oh man, it's just, Lemonade is so good. I cannot stress it enough. If you have not listened to it, please get your hands on it. You will not be disappointed. But yeah, folks, those are my top 5 favorite albums of 2016. If you made it this far into the video, leave a comment. Tell me what your top 5 was of 2016 so far, at least. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.